We're here interviewing Mr. Baker about digital and film photography. All right. So we'll start right off. How long have you been a photography teacher?
So this is my 23rd year teaching here at South. And when I first started, I taught a little bit of photo. It was just kind of sprinkled into we had art 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I kind of sprinkled it into the art 3 and 4s. And then a few years later, we started a full photo class.
What's your favorite thing about being a photography teacher?
I think I don't know. There's a lot of really good things about being a photography teacher. I think my favorite thing at this point is that I just get to shoot what I want to shoot. I don't have to shoot weddings or pictures of babies,
right?
Things like that. I just shoot things that I feel like shooting. And so it just gives me freedom. And it also forces me to stay in touch with current trends, current things that are happening in photography. Photography is an infant as far as art form is concerned. It's one of the newest ones out there, and it's ever evolving. We started with old 10 plates, and now we're up to digital mirrorless cameras. And so that transition really keeps me on my toes, and I like to learn. So it's kind of a nice mix of those things.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that you like film photography more or digital?
It's also pros and cons for both of those as well. Mm-hmm. There is a magic to film photography that you don't get with digital. When you see your image just appear on a white piece of paper, you can't get that with digital, no matter how hard you try. Mm-hmm. I also feel like there's a focus that you have to have in film photography, where you don't have to have such a strong focus in digital photography. One little mistake, either your chemistry is too hot, or the mix isn't correct, or you expose for just a little bit too long, those have a major impact on the way the image looks.
Yeah.
And so you can't lose your focus. And I think digital now, it's very easy to get pulled into this rabbit hole of filters and things like that, which are great. They're amazing.
Yeah.
But it's just a very different situation. And if I could teach photo 1 in film, I would do that. But I can't do that. We couldn't do both a wet lab and a digital lab. So,
do you think film is having a comeback?
I would say to a degree, yes. Yeah. I think the magic of film photography, that's not going to go away. So if somebody can experience it or taste it a little bit, they're going to be drawn to it. It is complicated. It's hard to find materials. Over spring break, I traveled to Boston and we drove into Rhode Island. So I went to the Rhode Island School of Design and went to their gift shop, and I was surprised to see an entire area of film photography. You could buy paper, you could buy film, you could buy chemistry. I haven't seen that in a long time. So that was really interesting to see. I do think art schools certainly provide those materials for you, but those are about the only places that you're going to easily find it.
Yeah.
It's too fast to work with digital. Businesses, corporations, if you're doing photo stuff for them, it just needs to be quick.
Yeah.
And you can't do quick with film. So I do think there's that group of people that will hold on to it forever as long as they can. But as far as like a major resurgence, I think people will buy Polaroids and things that are kind of easy to get something tactile. But actual film and chemistry, that one's going to be a tough one to really make a full comeback.
Right.
So
what's your favorite style to shoot in? Like landscape, portraits?
I do like everything. And again, it kind of plays back into being a photography teacher. And you see these people on Instagram and their imagery, while a lot of them looks really good, it's kind of all the same thing, because once they develop a technique or a style, if you will, people expect them to stay with that. And so I'm a social media ghost. I don't do anything social media. I don't have Instagram. And that is partially because I'm not locked into any one style or technique or subject matter. I just shoot what I want to shoot, how I want to shoot it, and when I want to shoot it. So it's kind of a beautiful freedom, but I like all of it. I mean, I complain about shooting pictures of weddings and babies and things like that, but there's at times some joy in that as well. So it's just kind of, I think the beauty of being a teacher is that's not forced on me. It's something that I can just choose. And then in your photo classes, you experiment with all of them. That's the great thing, because all of my photo students have different things that they like. And so it allows me to kind of jump in and play vicariously through their photo work. And just to kind of, I just like exploring. So whatever. What available classes are there for photography here? So currently, you can do journalistic photography, and you can do that a little bit in yearbook, and then I think in journalism as well. I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that one. In the art department, we have Photo 1 and Photo 2, and then if you've taken both of those and you really want to go further with it, you can do portfolio, and we'll make the basis of your portfolio photography based. So you can go even further if you want. There are some prereqs to get into photo classes, so it's not an easy class to get into. You do have to have design fundamentals. I would encourage you to have drawing, but it's design fundamentals and another art class. But that design fundamentals drawing track is going to be the best bet for you. You learn a little bit of shading, you learn about lighting a little bit, and drawing. Those things will help you in your photo skills. So awesome. Yeah. Do you have any advice for future photographers? I think my best advice is look up from your phone and look at the world around you. You know, I think one of the initial roles of photography is to capture a moment in time. And I think people get lost in their devices and they forget to look up and see the world around them. And photography is a good tool to make you hyper aware. You know, if you have a subject in mind, something you're looking for, you go out in the world and you really pay attention and you look for that, and it allows you to see other things as well. So just get your face up and look around, you know, and document everything, you know. Back in the day when film photography was the only type of photography we had, you know, you'd have those moments where you were caught without your camera and you're like, man, if I just had my camera with me, I could. Well, now you have a phone all the time. They have cameras on them. So you don't have to intentionally go out and shoot. But if you're aware of your surroundings and the world around you, you can capture moments anytime you want. So just do that, you know. Be observant, see things. Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us in this week's JAGcast. Hopefully there's people out there listening that want to jump in the photo world, and film or digital, come on in. And we'll try to do what we can. All right.